On the record.
Good evening and welcome to the January 29th, 2020 regular meeting of Hamilton City Council. We're here at 345 High Street in Hamilton, and we'll do a roll call.
Pullman,
Present.
Fear,
Present.
Vaughn,
Present.
Ryan,
Here.
Nab,
Here.
Brown,
Here.
Moeller.
Present. Start the meeting off with an offering of prayer by Vice Mayor Pullman, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand if you are able.
Okay, before we do the prayer, thanks to the mayor and council for letting us speak a little bit about Ron DePifanio, who just we laid to rest today and passed away January 21st on 2020. He was 78 years old. He was the former mayor of Fairfield. He was serving his third year of his four-year term with city council again. He was a small business owner, big Ohio State Buckeye fan. He was a youth coach in many different aspects in sports. And the way I got to meet Ron was we both have special needs children, and we both coached therapeutic rec softball down at Joe Nuxall Miracle League fields, and which Ron was a big supporter of with Kim Nuxall and all. Just, you know, Ron, when he was down there and came out, the players, he just had a presence about him. The players just loved him. And, you know, if you knew Ron, just anytime you walked into a room, he just had this presence, that a lot of energy and everything. So I was very fortunate to coach with him. Last time I talked to him was 2 weeks before Christmas, and Ron wasn't feeling very good, and I was talking to him about that, and he says, well, I'm doing okay, and he goes, let's talk about the 2020 season baseball. So he asked me to be his assistant coach, and that was pretty nice, and unfortunately won't be able to do that now. But I just hope that, one thing that I hope with Ron, all that he's done, Mayor Pat probably said the best thing the other day. Ron wasn't a politician, he was a very good community leader. So I hope during my time in council and community leading that I do, I hope I can be just as good as he can. So we'll go ahead and say a small prayer here for Ron, and I, again, appreciate you, council, letting me do that. Lord, we ask you to watch over the DePifanio family and the Fairfield community during their time of mourning. We ask you to watch over all that are sick and those who have passed. We thank you for the time that you gave Ron to us on this earth. The people that got to know Ron have become better people just being around him. We know that you have accepted him with open arms, and now heaven has a new mayor and coach. Mayor and Coach Ron, may you rest in eternal peace. It's well deserved. We pray this in the name of the Lord. Amen. Amen. Pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Pullman. Ron definitely was a public servant, not a politician. If you look at his prayer card, that American flag flying, as well as the flag of the city of Fairfield is in the picture. And he loved this country, he loved the city of Fairfield, and very appropriate prayer card. Okay, we have some special presentations this evening, and looks like a couple of them involve some very young, intelligent people. We're going to take them slightly out of order and go ahead and have the AmeriCorps Civilian Community Corps presentation. If those guys will come up here, and young ladies will come up here. They are here in town because of SELF and helping out homeowners who need a little bit of work around their houses, but due to disability or due to aged, they cannot do some of these repairs themselves. So, all right. We got all 10 of them here, John?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why don't you introduce yourself and the program, then we'll hear a little bit about these young men and women.
I'm Amanda Williams. I'm the team leader. Where are you from, Amanda?
I'm from Mason, Ohio.
Yay.
Buckeye. Come on.
I'm Matt Johnson. I'm the Project Outreach Liaison, and I'm from Seattle, Washington.
My name is Serena Ortiz. I'm from Stockton, California, and I'm the recruiter for the team.
I am Rafael Villalobos. I'm from El Paso, Texas, and I'm the Service Learning Initiator.
My name is Joshua Krieshak. I'm from Springfield, Missouri, and I'm one of the media representatives.
I'm Jacob Grajales. I'm from Washington, D.C., and I'm a vehicle safety and tool officer.
My name is Mary Crispin. I'm from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I'm the other public project outreach liaison and vehicle safety tool officer.
Hi, I'm Tyler Sadler. I'm from Independence, Missouri, and I'm the other media representative.
My name is Mason Kim. I'm from San Francisco, California, and I'm the other recruiter.
My name is Nilla Young. I'm also from Washington, D.C., and I'm the other service learner initiator of the team.
Great. Well, welcome to Hamilton. John, why don't you tell the audience kind of what these young men and women have done around Hamilton and Butler County since they've been here?
Well, we do 3 programs in 3 construction-related programs. I gave you a brochure that shows all the programs. And by the way, these programs are available for any Hamilton City low-income family. So there's everything from Jobs Now to emergency heat systems. And the 3 construction ones that Greg Sargent and I run, the 3 of them are the Build Up Academy, where we teach young folks construction skills and get them high-paying jobs in the construction industry. The second one, which these young people have been involved in, this is the Neighbors Who Care home repair program, where we help elderly and disabled clients throughout Butler County, about 40% or more of them in the city of Hamilton, stay in their homes so they don't have to go to nursing homes. We do a lot of mobility stuff. We did 23 wheelchair ramps this year. These guys did 2 wheelchair ramps while they were here. So the weather wasn't real conducive for them to be in the field every day, so they spent a lot of time, and they've helped us jumpstart the renovations we're doing on our new corporate headquarters, which are going to be at 415 South Monument. So these young folks, we couldn't do these programs without all of our volunteers. These are 10 of the over 1,000 volunteers we had last year. They've given us 40 hours a week for 3 weeks, 10 of them. My calculation shows that's 1,200 hours just for this group. And at $15 an hour, they gave us $18,000 worth of free labor. So we really appreciate that. Over the course of the year, we'll have over 1,000 volunteers, giving us over 20,000 hours of time. And and they're local people. It's AK Steel, it's some of the other local businesses here, it's the local churches. Everybody comes together. That's why we call it Neighbors Who Care home repair and Neighbors Who Care renovations. The other thing that these 2 young folks haven't been able to do, I take that back. They have helped us with our renovations program, where we actually buy abandoned houses and foreclosed houses, fix them up and sell them to credit-worthy first-time home buyers. So they were actually working in one of our homes over that time period too. And both of those were in the city of Hamilton this year. So we really appreciate working with the city of Hamilton, cooperating with the city, the health department, finding out what kind of building code violations there are, and helping those who can't afford to get them fixed up, get them fixed. And we couldn't do it without you guys.
So this team crosses the United States, helping out people in various cities and villages.
Right.
And we've had AmeriCorps teams here in the past, is that correct, John?
Yes. We've been lucky enough to have the team just about every year. We missed it one year when they went on hurricane relief, but we'll let them do that. You know, home repairs are important, but the hurricane relief was more important. But we've had a group like this every year. We're blessed to have them for the last 6 years.
Wow. I need one of you to speak about the AmeriCorps program.
So AmeriCorps is a 10-month program for individuals between 18 and 24. We travel around, as you mentioned, in different parts of the United States and work with different organizations. We've worked with SELF for 3 weeks. In the future, we're heading to Danville, Illinois. Actually, tomorrow. We're heading to Danville, Illinois. And we've worked with like other organizations as well, such as Habitat for Humanity. And we work in many different areas, including construction, environmental stewardship, and like many different areas. Yeah, that's just a general overview of the program.
Great program. So
Yeah.
you see the country,
Mhm.
you help your neighbors all across the country, and it's a great way to start your careers in service to others. And thanks to SELF for sponsoring the program.
Yeah, and I liken them to the Peace Corps, except Peace Corps is around the world. They're here in the United States, and charity does begin at home, so.
We're between them and dinner now because they're going to eat dinner at the Firehouse on Pershing Avenue. I don't want to stand between all of you and dinner, but you get to drink some more Hamilton water because who's got the world's best tasting water?
Hamilton, Ohio.
They learned it. Okay, how about a round of applause for these AmeriCorps volunteers? Thank you. Thank you. Good luck in Danville. And I know you'll love dinner. Thank you very much. And thank you, John.
Thank you.
Okay? All right, Urban Legends. Come on up here, logo team. Who in the city assisted this logo team? Can you two come up here? Come on. Come on. Don't say no. Come on up here. I'll even go over this. No, you can't really say no because you're. Well, I think they're getting stuff out of the box. Steve, this might be kind of a, you want to get this probably over here. Can you wheel that in? Rich, working for the railroad.
I'm an engineer, you know.
Thank you, Richard. Okay. All right. Better not break this. Okay. Now, who wants to lead this presentation? Okay. I'm getting out of their way. But these two city folks here are important because they helped out. This is quite a team. They're really organized. Why don't you introduce yourselves first and then go into your presentation.
Hi, we are the Urban Legends. We come from Brookwood Elementary, a very urban school. I'm Jessica Powell, and I'm the research director.
Data specialist.
I'm Maddie Wagenfield, and I'm the lead programmer.
I'm Adelaide Hess, and I'm the core values director.
I'm Mackenzie O'Hara, and I'm the project manager.
I'm Quentin Cuthbertson, I'm the builder. I'm Max Snellgrove, and I'm the engineer.
I'm Hunter, and I'm also a builder. I'm Brady Saylor, and I'm the mission specialist.
Would you guys like to see our presentation?
Yes.
Oh wait, do I have to turn it on? No, okay. All right. Good evening. We are the Urban Legends from Brookwood Elementary in Hamilton. We are the first LEGO League team. First LEGO League is a worldwide robotics and engineering competition built around theme-based challenges to engage children ages 9 to 14 in research, problem solving, coding, and engineering. The foundation of the program is First Core Values, which emphasizes teamwork, discovery, and innovation. Students emerge more confident, excited, and equipped with the skills they need in a changing workforce. This year's theme was called City Shapers, in which students were challenged to identify a real-world problem in their own community and to develop an innovative solution for that problem. The project you're about to see is our solution for ideas in Hamilton, Ohio. We hope you enjoy our presentation and would love to continue working with the city to make this idea actually happen. Thank you. Now for our presentation.
You can move it wherever you want to. Whatever helps the presentation. Make sure our city engineers can see this now, okay?
Okay. We have identified a problem with a public space in the city of Hamilton, Ohio. Historically, Hamilton had many factories requiring many trains. Even though most of the factories have closed, the trains continue to run through the city, creating a first world problem. We hope you enjoy our presentation.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh no, a train again!
That's the third time this week. I'm gonna be late for practice.
I wonder how long it'll last.
No, not a train.
The crash is a half-mile up this road.
Should we wait or drive 2 miles to the underpass and back around?
I wish we knew how long this train was.
We have lives to save.
What you just witnessed is actually a real-world problem in the city of Hamilton, Ohio. Frequently, trains will block the tracks and cars will have no way of knowing how long the train will be there. They never know if they should wait or go another way.
According to Nick Arcus, city clerk of Hamilton, there are 24 active railroad crossings and a 5-mile stretch right through the middle of the city with only 1 underpass and 1 overpass.
We interviewed Trevor Snyder, fire investigator in Hamilton, and he said that emergency vehicles often get stuck at a crossing with no quick alternative to cross the blocked track. They never know if they should stay where they are or go another way. Every second counts.
We conducted a survey of 262 people who live or work in Hamilton to analyze this problem. 89% of people get stuck by trains every week. 47% of people wait 6 to 10 minutes, and 12% wait more than 15 minutes.
Why is this a problem? 87% of people reported feeling frustrated about being late. 52 reported feeling angry, worried, or upset.
We have come up with an innovative solution for this problem. Our idea is to install an Artemis-type message sign on a cancel every crossing gate. The sign will tell waiting cars how long they'll be stuck at a crossing. This will let people decide if they should wait for the train or go another way.
We found out that this solution was not so easy to put in place as we thought.
Ryan Klosterman, an engineer for Norfolk Southern Railways, told us that there is currently no way to track when and how long freight trains will block tracks. But due to past laws, every train now has an end-of-train device with a GPS locator.
We interviewed or worked with 2 computer experts to help create a way for this to work. Mr. Mundy, technology teacher, and Dr. Mert Ball, electromechanical engineering professor from Miami University. A computer system can be installed within the Artemis sign hanging over the tracks, and a matching system will be in every train device.
A radio frequency ID tag, similar to a key fob, will be located on every train engine. When the engine enters a crossing, the tag will identify which train it is, so it knows which end of the train GPS to communicate with. There could be multiple trains in the area.
The GPS device on the end of train will communicate with satellites in space to determine the exact location and speed of the end of train. The Arduino computer will collect and convert that information to an XBee radio module. The XBee radio module will send that information to an XBee radio receiver at the Artemis sign.
When information is received at the Artemis sign, the Arduino computer will run a simple algorithm to determine how much time until the last train car clears the crossing. The algorithm is distance divided by rate equals time.
The time left until the train clears will be set to the Artemis sign and will be shown as a countdown in minutes and seconds.
This communication system will help people decide by knowing how much time there is, how long they need to wait, by knowing how much time left. Our research studies show that 76% of people said this will help them decide.
This will also help the fire and police decide the fastest way to an emergency when there's a train.
We searched the internet, app store, and interviewed a train engineer, and they all showed that nothing like this exists yet. We did find one app in Colorado attempting to track trains by putting cameras on high buildings, but it did not use an Artemis board.
Our solution is potentially to be used nationwide or even worldwide. We interviewed and worked with 8 professionals to create this concept.
Kara Lucio, Save Communities Coordinator, Safety Council of Southwestern Coordinator, Safety Council of Southwestern Ohio.
Ryan Klosterman, train engineer, Norfolk Southern Railroad.
Liz Hayden, Hamilton City Planner.
Greg Wilkins, Butler County Engineer.
Dr. Mert Ball, Professor, Mechanical Engineering, Miami University.
Dustin Mundy, Technology Instructor at Hamilton City Schools.
Dr. Doug Markham, Physics Professor from Miami University.
Hamilton firefighters Trevor Snyder and Joe Stamper.
Ohio Department of Transportation, Andy Flugman, Liz Leons, and Caitlin Fulton.
Now let's see our solution in action.
ding, 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 ding.
Oh no, a train! We can go through the underpass and get to the wreck faster than waiting here. That sign is so helpful.
Oh no, a train again? I'm gonna be late for practice.
It says the train will be 3 minutes and 14 seconds. We'll be alright. Don't freak out.
You want to say a few words? Because please do. I am just totally flabbergasted and proud at the same time that these young people came up with an idea that is so practical. It'll make those 76% of the frustrated, angry people less frustrated and angry. And you mentioned about the safety services being able to get to a location quicker. I'll tell you what, there's been a lot of minds, a lot of college graduates with PhDs and stuff after their name, and this sounds like it could definitely work. Do you think it should work?
Yeah. That's what
All right.
we're going for.
How do we get these folks to get some kind of patent on this?
They were told to get a patent on it by the judges at their competition, so that costs money.
All right. Challenge is there, but would you please introduce yourself?
I'm Christy Bunger. I'm a speech therapist at Brookwood Elementary, and I coach the Urban Legends along with Ruth Houston. And she is
I'm a Title I reading teacher at Brookwood, and this is our 6th year with the LEGO team from Brookwood.
And they're awesome.
I'll tell you what, I'm just so impressed by what Brookwood has produced here, and your parents and relatives who motivated you. If you needed that motivation, I think you had motivation already. I'm sure you're part of the 76 of the angry, frustrated people who were really upset. I want to thank the city folks, Liz and Rich, who helped out. You talked to some very powerful, intelligent people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And confidently, with an idea. I tell you, this should be followed through with. I'm not kidding. I'm just so impressed by it. Anything else that any of you want to say before you get a hearty round of applause and thanks for the first chapter of the Urban Legend patent and worldwide improvement to vehicular traffic? Anything else you folks want to say?
Should we ask a question?
I mean, you had to work as a team, right, on this?
Do you guys have any questions?
How about some questions? Rich, you got any questions?
No, I have
He's an engineer. No, any questions from the audience? Because
I have a question. Yeah. What if what if you say how with 5 minutes of trains? It's going to go in 10, 15 minutes, you know. Well, should we get paid for it?
no, they should get paid for it. Once they actually get this thing developed, they're going to be rich. They're going to live in Hamilton. We're going to have monuments after them. But how about that round of applause right now for me? So proud. Good job. Way to go, Brookwood. All right, thank you. Thank you. And that was a great presentation. That just shows how well you can organize your delivery and your message and successfully. So, thank you very, very much. Thank you, Brookwood.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. Thank you. We're going to give them a minute to.
Now that's the side. They did a great job. So good. So good. That was good. That's our future there.
That's cool.
Yeah. Rich, you should have gotten autographs and contracts signed for future city employment. Well, Well, after those two great presentations, we have a great Public Works Director here. Introduce yourself, please, and tell us what's going on with this next special presentation.
Yes, sir. My name is Jim Williams. I'm the Public Works Director for the City of Hamilton. Thank you, Mayor, for having time for us tonight, and City Council, as well as citizens and distinguished guests. I'm doing this on behalf of the City of Beaver Creek. They basically want to acknowledge and thank you for support of their city after their tornadoes hit last spring. So let me kind of give you a synopsis of what happened. The event onset was Monday, May 27th, approximately 8 p.m. At 8:20 p.m., the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma, issues a tornado watch, number 266, for eastern Indiana and west central Ohio. It was valid from 8:20 to 2 a.m. It is amazing how accurate that statement is. Tornadoes started to form in our area at approximately 12:32 a.m. Tuesday, but there was some that occurred earlier. As you can see there was 15 initial tornadoes in central Ohio. As the night wore on, there were actually 16 tornadoes. The number 6 tornado was on the ground for 18.17 miles with a speed range of 166 miles to 200 miles an hour. It was pretty destructive. At this point, I'd like to give you an idea of the damage that was caused. It's pretty shocking and amazing. This is the area around Beaver Creek, throughout the Montgomery County, in Dayton, and Greene County.
Here's a neighborhood right across the street, and this home, dozens of homes here are destroyed by the high winds that came through, and if it was indeed a tornado that came through this area. But look at all the sheet metal that wrapped around that utility pole right in front of this house. More damage. Here's a couple of commercial buildings. That one has some damage, and this one has very heavy damage. I have no idea what kind of business this is, but that looks like it is a war zone. I described an apartment complex earlier as looking like a war zone, but you look at this and you see the heavy damage to some of these homes with minor damage, other ones completely leveled. This tornado actually took a little bit of an easterly to the southeast path, when normally we see tornadoes go to the northeast, from the southwest to the northeast, but that doesn't seem to have been the case with this one.
So essentially, as you can see, that damage was extensive. This reality has triggered us to start updating our own emergency management plan here in the city of Hamilton, working closely with Butler County EMA and the state of Ohio. It's just amazing what you just saw, that can happen in such a short amount of time. And that was kind of a suburban rural area. This city is very dense. And so you can imagine the damage that would occur if we had the same experience. Let's pray to God that never happens. So, to support them, we sent a crew of 4 up there. And essentially, these men and women supported 2 days of the clearing operation. They worked 16-hour days. And so from left to right, we have Chris Miller, who was a crew leader. Mike Thunero is the Director of Public Services that came down from the city of Beaver Creek to actually ask us to provide this thank you to you and to us. Larry Parker, Pamela Reiser, and Travis Owens. So specifically, Mike Thunero asked us to do something that I thought was pretty unique and heartfelt. He visited our facility, and he requested that we pass on coins to you. These coins are the Beaver Creek Township logo and Neighbors Helping Neighbors. And it's basically a memorial of the Memorial Day tornado on May 27th. He's asked us to basically put it in our palm, giving it to you thanking you at the same time as a heartfelt exchange of thank you in support of their tornado recovery. He also provided us a picture signed off by his staff of one of our trucks that was there in support of the cleanup. Now lastly, I'd like to read to you the actual proclamation that the Mayor Bob Stone provided. Bear with me 1 second. Whereas the Memorial Day tornado hit Beaver Creek on Monday, May 27, 2019 at approximately 11:18 p.m., leaving a path of massive destruction and loss. And whereas City of Hamilton came to our aid, giving tirelessly of your time, energy, and effort to assist us with the damage recovery. And whereas Neighbors Helping Neighbors span beyond the borders of Beaver Creek with contributions from cities, villages, townships, park districts, counties, and the state. And whereas the City of Hamilton generously provided staff, equipment to help Beaver Creek residents begin to recover from the devastation left by the tornado. And now, therefore, I, Bob Stone, Mayor of the City of Beaver Creek, along with the City Council and our entire community, wish to thank the City of Hamilton and express our sincere appreciation for your assistance in our city as our city continues the process of healing and rebuilding. Your presence and generosity in our time of need was uplifting to Beaver Creek and will never be forgotten. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the city seal to be affixed this 25th day of November, 2019. Bob Stone, Mayor, City of Beaver Creek. So, Mayor, I want to express our thank you from them to us, to you, to allowing us to support them. And we've established relationships with them to have mutual aid if we ever need their support. So that's our presentation.
I'm very, very impressed with our guys and the lady who went up there to help out. I'm just really very honored to even be part of this council. We didn't go up there, but our folks went up there to help out, and I know Mayor Stone sent his people down here in mutual aid. We've had a real theme running through all these presentations, and it's all neighbors. Mayor Ron was a great neighbor. Fairfield, the AmeriCorps group, helping other people out all across the country. That Brookwood Lego team, I mean, they're helping people out just by coming up with these ideas. And then this is really special, and we will honorably keep these. We will have that proclamation framed and put in an appropriate place, and maybe it should be in the public works work area so they can see what they did that particular couple days that they were there. And just so that we would do it again. I want to thank Jim Logan and you, Mr. Williams, for your leadership in this. But behind all this is an example of our great city team, our infrastructure folks, Jim Logan, Jim Williams, Rich Engel, and we all thank you for what you do. We'll accept these on your behalf, the city team that went and helped out.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Greatly
Any other comments
appreciate
from council? Wow.
Thanks for
Thank
doing
you.
Thank you.
And I will contact the mayor myself as well.
I'll let Mr. Thornrow know that we completed our due diligence here.
You did, and we will. We're very proud of receiving these, and we would help them again, and they will. I'm sure they would help us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tell you what, after those presentations, makes you feel good about our city, our community, and our country, and our young people. And I know Jim Lonman is going to say something good about us too, because Jim, you signed the Audience Citizens book. You're the only one, but you still have only 5 minutes or less. Individuals who wish to make comments may speak during this part of the agenda, or may reserve the right to speak when the item's up for vote on council floor. You were required to sign this book. You signed the book. You have up to 5 minutes. I see you brought a ring binder and a pen. I hope that's not an indication of much more than 4 minutes, Jim, but tell us what's going on, and please, we're all going to listen, and I know Rich Engel does take good notes, and he gets the job done for us. So, Jim, what's going on?
Well, first of all, my name is Jim Loneman, at 71 Pyramid Hill Boulevard, Hamilton. And I would like to know, how come when they yeah, I've been on many times over on South B Street or North B Street, or South B Street, and there's a lot of these manhole covers, you know, are sinking down. You can see cracks in there. And Jim Williams told me this mostly from Cincinnati Bell. Why don't they fix it? They should fix it. They did it first of all. You know.
I'm going to take notes, Jim, and then we're going to wrap up by maybe getting some answers, and our professionals will be taking down notes as well. So that's your first topic. We'll address that with the other ones once you get done with your list.
Okay.
Is there anything else, Jim?
Yeah. Okay. Well, also on Maple Avenue, Maple, you know.
Okay.
Which was parallel to High Street. Okay, they got there's a train track right there. You got that before you get to Route 1 or Route 4 here. You know, there's a train track right there. You know that?
Yes.
Now that thing, I understand. I think I think them take 10 minutes or the whole blocks, the whole intersection there, both ways, north, south, east, and west. They should get rid of the train tracks right there, what it should be.
Well, we hope that we have improvement with the railways throughout the entire city and how we get around them,
Yeah.
over them, under them.
How do you get around them if there are people in front of you, or people right behind you? How do you get around them? You know,
I know what you're saying. Is there anything else on your list tonight?
nothing I can think of, Hoffman.
Okay. Mr. Engel, I think you've addressed some of these issues with Cincinnati Bell, and you successfully have done that in various locations around the city.
We have, but if he's referencing North B Street, that's obviously going to be under construction in the near future, so we'll be taking care of all of those manholes at that time.
So that will be taken care of in the future, but Mr. Engel's been successful in getting those smoothed out so it doesn't wreck people's
I understand, but the thing is, I've seen them put on the roads and where the manhole covers are still lower than the street, you know. They should fix manhole covers before they go.
I agree. Now, the Maple Avenue train track, that does stop, kind of paralyzes the entire area.
Yeah, I know it is, yeah.
And who deals with our railroad folks these days? Is that you, Rich? Or is that Jim?
Well, we have a committee that's been working with CSX Railroad, and actually we're currently in conversation with the Ohio Rail Development Commission, which is an arm of ODOT, and Norfolk Southern on that particular crossing on Maple Avenue and Route 4. There'll be different crossings put up there at a future date.
Would you say a relationship with the railroads now is better than it was in the past, or improving a little bit?
Well, a lot,
Okay.
hopefully.
Well, let's just say we're having conversations at the
Okay.
time. I don't know if
So-
it's improving or not.
We hope that it's improving, and we will continue to work for our citizens. They'll work for our citizens to get railways to be as safe, passable, and passable quickly. So we've got the right people talking to them. They just have to listen, and they have to listen to our solutions.
That's great, I'm glad to
Okay.
hear that. I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you, Jim.
Well, thank you.
Have a good
night.
evening. Okay, that now takes us to the consent agenda, and that includes approval of minutes, all staff reports, receiving file information, caucus reports, and 2 information reports. December 2019 monthly financial report, December 2019 monthly investment report. But before we consider the vote on that, we're going to go into the committee of the whole, which is a part of the agenda that allows us to consider all of the reports on the consent or caucus agenda, and we'll suspend the rules so that we may ask questions to the council, provide any kind of direction, receive input from our professionals, and comment on the various reports that were part of the caucus agenda. So I'll set the motion that the regular meeting be recessed and the committee of the whole take place.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Councilmember Nab, second by Councilmember Fear. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, that motion is carried. It is 6:39. We now go into the committee of the whole discussion. And the very first one has to do with a Main Street streetscape project. If we want to read that into the record, Mr. City Clerk, and then I guess we'll hear from our engineer, Mr. Engel.
Sure. Recommendation relative to a change order number 1, contract number 18-04 Main Street streetscape project.
Introduce yourself.
Rich Engel, Director of Engineering. Good evening, Mayor and Council. This change order was requested by the Engineering Department back in December to replace the aging 16-inch water main and other water main at the intersection of Black Street and North B Street. This was in preparation of getting started on the Champion Spooky Nook Sports Complex. So the contractor had provided a price of $291,384. They've achieved that. They're going to be under budget on that project, as well as our original closure date was 50 days, and they actually completed the project in 44 days. So the intersection was open completely yesterday. I know we're doing some additional sanitary sewer lateral work at the moment, which is requiring a lane restriction, but the intersection is open and usable by the citizens and also, more importantly, by the school system because their buses go through there a lot. Are there any questions on this?
Thank you for the staff report, and I know these change orders do take place at times, but when you add extra beyond the scope of the original work, it does cost more, and that's why we have these change orders.
Yes, sir.
Any questions from council or any comment from council? Thank you, Mr. Engel. Read number 2 in, Mr. City Clerk.
Recommendation relative to the application for a change in stock for MGB Tavern LLC, DBA Buster's 3463-65, Tylersville Road, Hamilton, Ohio 45011. This is a liquor permit request from the applicant Buster's. This is a change order of stock, just meaning that there's another ownership for the liquor permit itself. This is marked for approval. However, we have been notified by the applicant that they are intending, through their lawyer, to withdraw from the process. Because it's a state of Ohio process, we cannot stop this in any way. We've marked it for approval. I'll still send in the paperwork to the state. However, it looks like they are not going to do the ownership change at all anyway.
Okay.
So that's pretty much all
Number
that's
3
going
as
on there. Number 3 is also a liquor permit. It is a recommendation relative to the application for a new liquor permit for Miami University, DBA Miami University, Hamilton Campus, 1601 University Boulevard, Hamilton, Ohio, 45011. This is for them to obtain a liquor permit, a D51. It allows them to act similar to a restaurant. They may serve individual alcoholic beverages until 2:30 a.m. And it has met fire, building, and health standards.
And part of your responsibilities as a city clerk is to kind of shepherd these things through to their legislative point, is that correct?
That is correct, Mr. Mayor.
Any questions for Nick about number 2 or number 3 on the caucus agenda? Okay. Number 4, which has to do with the annual action plan. You'll give us your name and your position within the city.
Recommendation relative to a
After it's read.
request to update the annual action plan update for fiscal year 2020 through 2021.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council. My name is Dave Jones. I'm the finance director. Excuse me. This is for the Community Development Block Grant, commonly referred to as the CDBG grant and the home grant. The main thing from this slide is the fiscal year. This grant runs on a fiscal year beginning May 1, and it runs to April 30th, so this is the proposed draft. So these dates here, we get a lot of questions about, how does the public, give input, and these dates, they happen pretty much the same time every year with this grant. There's 3 dates in August where what we call subrecipients can come to these locations. Number 3, you'll see is a technical assistance session where staff will help subrecipients apply. This was presented to the Planning Commission on January 16th, a public presentation. It was approved to move forward by the Planning Commission. Next meeting on the 12th, you will have a detailed presentation from staff at a public hearing, and then the final reading will be February 26th. Here is an overview by category. The categories are set forth by HUD. That's who the grants come through. And the dollars amount, like I said, the 12th, you will have a detailed presentation that'll break this down by subrecipient. One thing that we've been fortunate enough to do through HUD, and this is presented through the budget process the last couple of years, is fund our aging fire capital with that. This slide actually comes out of the budget presentation. Sorry, I keep going the wrong way. But, you know, we're fortunate to be able to use some of this money, and here's some of the things we've been able to do with the fire department with this money. Questions?
No, I just want to say that these are for home funds, community development block grant monies, is that correct?
Correct.
Those are federal dollars?
Yes, HUD money, correct.
I want to thank you and our city folks for doing those technical assistance sessions. That's how people can learn how to do the paperwork, I guess, to make a request.
Yes.
This went through Planning Commission. Now it's got a public hearing and 2 readings.
Correct.
Any questions from council to Mr. Jones? Thank you. Number 5, Mr. City Clerk.
A recommendation relative to amending and supplementing the rules of council as defined under resolution number R 2014-4-42. The rules of council have not been updated since 2014, and right on the table right now is a small amendment to your rules. We would need to add committee of the whole as a procedural part of a city council meeting. Committee of the whole was started about this past October as an experiment of council to see if this is something they wanted to continue. Council has indicated that this is a positive thing and that the rules would then need to be amended to continue with it, so forth. Because these are the rules of council and they're your rules, if there are any other rule changes that you would like to make, if you want to tell me at this time, that is fine, or if you wish to email me or to say to committee of council later this evening, if there's anything else in that rule book about the 4 pages of determining your voting order, seating order, anything like that, that would need to be done. But currently, this is the only rule change proposed, to add committee of the whole as a part of a city council meeting.
And we've been kind of test driving this the last several meetings. I think it's been more informative to council to hear about each one of these agenda items. It's more informative to the public too. I think it makes us more focused and it's really more transparent so people can know even more about what's going on for the detailed presentations. So that's going to be, we'll be voting on that as well, the committee of the whole.
Yes, sir.
Any questions from council at all? All right, thank you, Mr. Karukas. That's all that we have as far as committee of the whole. I accept the motion that the committee of the whole be closed.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Councilmember Fear, second by Councilmember Ryan. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, that motion is carried. The committee of the whole is closed at 6:48. I'll accept the motion to regular meeting be reconvened.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Brown, second by Councilmember Fear. Roll call vote to reconvene the regular meeting.
Pullman?
Yes.
Fear?
Yes.
Vaughn?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes.
Nab?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Moeller?
Yes.
Motion adopted, 7-0.
Now we come to the vote, and I'll accept the motion.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Nab.
I move that with the exception of the items so noted, council receive the reports of the consent agenda and concur in their recommendations.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Nab, second by Councilmember Fear. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, that motion is carried. We now go to the next section of the agenda, and that's council actions pertaining to legislative items, and I'll accept the motion.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Ryan.
I move that a note be made upon the minutes that each member of council was furnished a printed copy of each item of legislation prior to its being considered at this meeting.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Ryan, second by Councilmember Fear. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, the motion is carried. We go to pending legislation. Agenda item number 4, second reading of an ordinance involving a conditional use on Cleveland Avenue.
An ordinance approving a request for conditional use certificate to operate major automotive repair business at 1040 Cleveland Avenue, property zoned I-1 Limited Industrial Zoning District, situated in the 2nd Ward, City of Hamilton, Ohio.
Mr. Mayor, go ahead, Carla.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Fear.
I move the ordinance be adopted.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Fear, second by Councilmember Nab. Any discussion about this agenda item prior to the roll call vote? Hearing none, roll call.
Pullman,
Abstain.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Moeller.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted 6-0, 1 abstention.
Thank you. We go to agenda item number 5, second reading of an ordinance involving a change of zoning from an I-2 district to an IPD district.
Mayor Moeller, I move that the ordinance be adopted.
Second.
Well,
We need to
I need that. Can we please
Oh,
read it
I'm
first?
sorry.
And then we'll do the motions.
An ordinance amending the City of Hamilton zoning ordinance number 7503 by changing the zoning of the property located at 1570 Grand Boulevard, situated in the City of Hamilton, Butler County, Ohio, 5th Ward, from I-2 Industrial District to IPD Industrial Plan Development District, the Model Group, and YWCA Hamilton applicant.
Now I'll take a motion.
Okay, Mayor Moeller, I move that the ordinance be adopted.
Second.
Motion made by Councilmember Vaughn, seconded by Councilmember Brown. Any discussion about this one? IPD does allow the planning commission, I believe, to review things prior to them actually taking place. Things that might affect appearance, security, everything. I mean, it's just a nice way to come up with a developed plan. And so we've got a motion and a second. Any other comments? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Pullman,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Moeller.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted 7-0.
Go to agenda item number 6, which is second reading of an ordinance involving alley in the west side.
An ordinance approving the vacation of a portion of right-of-way South F Street Alley B, located between Main Street and Main Street Alley, situated in the 1st Ward, South Side, City of Hamilton, Ohio. John Park, applicant.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Nab.
I move the ordinance be adopted.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Nab, seconded by Vice Mayor Pullman. Any discussion, comments, questions about this one? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Pullman,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Moeller.
Abstain.
Ordinance adopted 6-0, 1 abstention.
We now go to agenda item number 7, second reading of an ordinance involving a conveyance of property, 128 Walnut Street.
An ordinance approving the conveyance of certain real property acquired through the land bank to an adjoining property owner as a side lot, 128 Walnut Street.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Ryan.
I move that the ordinance be adopted.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Ryan, second by Councilmember Fear. Questions, comments about this ordinance? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Pullman,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Moeller.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted 7-0.
Go to agenda item number 8, second reading of an ordinance involving conveyance of property, 400 Mill Road.
An ordinance approving the conveyance of certain real property acquired through the land bank to an adjoining property owner as a side lot, 400 Mill Road.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Vaughn.
I move the ordinance be adopted.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Vaughn. Did I hear you, Vice Mayor Pullman, second?
Second. Yes,
Seconded
sir.
by Vice Mayor Pullman. Questions, discussion about this one? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Pullman,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Moeller.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted 7-0.
We go to agenda item number 9, second reading of an ordinance involving the conveyance of property, 409 Home Avenue.
An ordinance approving the conveyance of certain real property acquired through the land bank to an adjoining property owners a side lot, 409 Home Avenue.
Mr. Mayor,
Vice Mayor Pullman.
make a motion that the ordinance be adopted.
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Pullman, second by Councilmember Ryan. As far as discussion, I believe these last three agenda items are vacant side lots that at one time had blighted property, and the adjoining property owner has requested the city to be able to purchase, receive these adjoining side lots, and they promised to take care of them. You've seen all the locations on the screen here in the council chambers. So any comments or questions about agenda item number 9? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Pullman,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Moeller.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted 7-0.
Go to agenda item number 10, first reading of an ordinance involving keeping sidewalks in good repair and clean.
An ordinance amending and supplementing section 521.06 of chapter 521 of the codified ordinances of the city of Hamilton, Ohio regarding duty to keep sidewalks in repair and clean.
Thank you. Agenda item number 11, first reading of an ordinance involving parking fine penalties.
An ordinance amending and supplementing section 351.99 penalty of chapter 351 parking generally of the codified ordinances of the city of Hamilton, Ohio relative to parking fine penalties in the central business district.
And those particular ordinances will be voted on at a later meeting with their second readings. Agenda item number 12, two readings of an ordinance involving supplemental appropriations.
An ordinance making supplemental appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Hamilton during fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Nab.
I move that the rules be suspended and said ordinance be read a second time by its title.
Motion by Councilmember Nab, second by Councilmember Brown. Roll call vote on that. Motion, please.
Pullman,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Moeller.
Yes.
Motion adopted 7-0.
Second reading of that ordinance, please.
In order to making supplemental appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Hamilton during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Nab.
I move the ordinance be adopted.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Nab, seconded by Councilmember Vaughn. I think with Councilmember Brown also joining in on that. Roll call vote, please.
Pullman,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Moeller.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted 7-0.
We go to agenda item number 13, resolution involving Hamilton Parks Conservancy and our municipal golf courses.
A resolution authorizing and directing the city manager to execute an amendment to the management and license agreement with the Hamilton Parks Conservancy and execute the appropriate employee lease agreement relative to the management of certain city-owned parks to include municipal golf courses.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Vaughn.
I move that the motion be adopted. Second.
Motion by Councilmember Vaughn, seconded by Councilmember Fear. Any questions about this particular resolution and the agreements that were attached to the staff report? Hearing none. Roll call vote.
Pullman,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Moeller.
Yes.
Resolution adopted 7-0.
Go to agenda item number 14, which is a resolution involving Ohio Municipal Electric Association.
A resolution designating council member Michael Ryan as a delegate to represent the city of Hamilton as a member of the Board of Directors of the Ohio Municipal Electrical Association.
Mr. Mayor,
Vice Mayor Pullman.
make a motion that the resolution be adopted.
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Pullman, seconded by Councilmember Vaughn. Any discussion about this? I think we'd had some discussion about maybe having an alternate also. Does that have to be a formal alternate appointed, or can we do it in a more informal manner?
So in the wording of the resolution,
Doesn't have an alternate in there.
it's further in, but it's Carla Fear,
Well, that's
Councilmember
okay.
Fear.
It's already been done then. Okay, no, I thought we had talked about it.
It was based on the conversation at the last council meeting.
In the resolution itself, it does have actually both names in it.
Yes, just the
Good.
title distinguishes Councilmember Ryan as our official.
Good. We did talk about that. Great.
Designate.
All right. Any other questions or comments? If not, roll call vote.
Pullman,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Ryan,
Abstain.
Nab,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Moeller.
Yes.
Resolution adopted 6-0, one abstention.
We go to agenda item number 15, resolution involving Hamilton Civil Service Commission.
A resolution appointing Christopher Marciello to serve on the City of Hamilton Civil Service Commission for the term commencing January 1st, 2020, and terminating December 31st, 2022.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Nab.
I move the resolution be adopted.
Second.
Councilmember Nab, seconded by Councilmember Ryan. Comments or questions about this?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, please.
I'd like to add that Chris comes with a tenacity for our city. I've known Chris for 10 years, and he brings a wealth of experience to the opportunity to serve on Civil Service Commission. He's looking forward to working with the commissioners and fellow people that he will engage with in the team from the city and all of the nuances that go along with the role. I had the pleasure of serving on Civil Service Commission before joining City Council and explained some of those requirements, some of the skill set and things like that. And again, I'm glad Council afforded this opportunity for Chris to be able to join commission and work in the next couple of years in that role. Thank you.
He'll do a good job. We thank everybody who applied for that position, and we ask people to still check out our website and all to other boards and commissions where we do need some people. Okay, if there's no other comments, roll call vote for that agenda item.
Pullman,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Moeller.
Yes.
Resolution adopted 7-0.
We now go to audience of the city manager. And Mr. Vanderhorst, do you have anything you want to bring to our attention as our sitting in city manager right now?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay. Audience of city council. Anybody on council wish to make any kind of comments at this time that the public may be interested in or that we might be interested in to discuss ourselves?
Mr. Mayor?
Vice Mayor Pullman?
I just want to make a comment. I was invited to St. Joseph School to do Catholic Week, speak with that, and that was
Great.
a lot of fun. And I had to make this comment. On one of the classes, I asked how the vice mayor was elected, and people were guessing. This one little girl raises her hand. She said, the highest vote getter gets to be vice mayor. I looked at her and I said, your daddy told you that, didn't he? It was Brandon Sarver's daughter. So she was so funny. So I just had to bring that up because that was really cool. But, did you? I said, your daddy told you that, didn't he? And she goes, yeah, she did. Yeah, he did. And so that was really cool. It was a great time. And I highly suggest if anybody gets invited, it was a really good time. So.
I did that last spring. I think Mr. Sarver's son then also had a few
Yeah.
comments too. So,
Tons of questions. I loved it. I mean, it was just a lot about city council. I mean, even all three groups, you know, and it was just really, it was an experience. And the neat thing is I told him, I said, this was my first election I won, but that's not really true because in 1977, when I was 14 years old, I ran for student council and was president of St. Joseph's School, won that. They don't do that anymore. And I said, so that was the last time I spoke in front of the student body. So it was kind of cool to be back to St. Joseph's. So that was just kind of cute how she said that. So thanks.
another great school in the city of Hamilton.
It is a great school, yes.
Anybody else on council have anything you want to bring up at this point in time? If not, is there a request we go into executive session?
Yes, sir, there is for 3 reasons.
Okay.
One, to consider confidential information related to the marketing plans, specific business strategy, production techniques, trade secrets, or personal financial statements of an applicant for economic development assistance. Second stated reason is to consider the purchase of property for public purposes or for the sale of property at competitive bidding if premature disclosure of the information would give an unfair competitive or bargaining advantage to a person whose personal private interest is adverse to the general public interest. And finally, to confer with an attorney for the public body concerning disputes involving the public body that are the subject of pending or imminent court action.
Great. First, I'll accept the motion that the executive session is necessary to protect the interest of the applicant or the possible investment or expenditure of public funds to be made in connection with the economic development project.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Nab, second by Vice Mayor Pullman. Roll call vote on that motion, please.
Pullman,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Moeller.
Yes.
Motion adopted 7-0.
Then I'll accept the motion that the council recess from the regular meeting and convene an executive session for the stated purposes by Mr. Vanderhorst.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Councilmember Fear, second by Councilmember Brown. Roll call vote on that motion, please.
Pullman,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Moeller.
Yes.
Motion adopted, 7-0.
We're going to executive session at 7:05. We'll come out of executive session only to reconvene the meeting to adjourn the regular meeting, and that takes care of our public business besides the adjournment at the very end. Thank you for being here. Yes. I think we all had good meetings because we got the right people in the right place.